Good morning and welcome to the construction site at Club Helensvale. If you can hear any noises throughout the day, that is what that is. It's a bit loud here this morning, but we are here for women's pairs quarterfinal action. Val Febo here with you on Rinkside Live, and joining me is Regional Bowls Manager for Southern Sydney and Illawarra, Ben Crixtolitis. Welcome.
Thanks very much, Val. Yeah, and fantastic to be sitting here next to that giant jackhammer. It's a wonderful place to be, as most of southeastern Australia suffered through the coldest night in 5 years.
Not us. It is beautiful and sunny here, and I reckon I'm going to be going home with a sunburn after today is over. It is absolutely beautiful, but we have got a massive match coming up in the quarters this morning. Taylor de Greenlaw and Louise Cronan against last year's runners-up, Wendy Wilson and Tris Doolan. This one is going to be a brilliant contest. Of course, this is the first women's pairs match where we have no time limit because it is a quarterfinal contest, and we've got a plethora of wonderful bowlers across this green here at Club Helensvale, a little bit west of the shoreline. We've got Carmen Anderson and Alan Faulkner. We've also got Chloe Stewart and Caitlin Inch against Jamie Lee Warsnop and Dawn Heyman. We've also got Genevieve Dells and Natasha Van Eldick against Emma Spicer and Brianna Smith.
Yeah, some of my favourite players here. I'm a little bit starstruck this morning sitting here. It's if you want to come and see the best bowlers in the world do their thing, this is the place to be today.
Yep, come and say hi if you're in the area, because it is going to be a massive day, and Club Helensvale is the epicentre of the climax, or as we get back to the pointy end of this tournament, those yellow bowls, as we can see, the roll-ups. Or actually, this is the first end of the contest, but those yellow bowls belong to Taylor de Greenlaw and Wendy Wilson with the greens there.
Yeah, Wendy Wilson using size 4 XGs, probably the biggest bowl the ladies would normally use. Everyone else is on 2s and 3s. Louise Cronin using a Drake's Pride Conquest, size 3, and Taylor de Greenlaw with those yellow aerodynamics. With a little dog logo on them too. She says she wanted her whole life.
Well, if she wins the title, I reckon Jess de Greenlaw might be up for buying her one. Good to see Jess around supporting her daughter this morning. Good morning, everyone. Nicholas West watching on. Westy, as he wants to be known by us. Everybody from wherever you're watching around the world, we welcome you to Rinkside Live for Apia, helping you live the good life and play bowls.
Some good shots put down there by Wendy, starting off very well.
Now, these ladies were sensational last year with their run to the final. They enjoyed a 2011 win over Kiri Bond and Jenny Anderson of New Zealand last night at 5:30 p.m. in the evening session to get through to the quarterfinals. 2011 that was. Then it was a 22-12 win over Vicky Tierney and Sharon Kosh. And then in the opening round of the knockout stages, they took down Sharon Weatherby and Tara Ferrier of Queensland 20-16. So the first round probably their most difficult so far. And if we look at what Taylor de Greenlaw and Louise Cronan have dished up this tournament, defeated Anita Sung and Queenie Shum of Hong Kong 23-4, then knocked off Pauline Barton and Brianna Graham 17-10. And then in last night's contest, they're in pretty good nick against Denise Gilbert and Frances Craig, who pushed them, but they got the job done 17-12.
And here it looks like Wendy's still holding at least those two on the side there. She's dropped them in beautifully. It'll be interesting to see how the ladies go first thing in the morning here at Helensvale. It's as we said, it's quite warm sitting here in the sun. There's a very slight breeze which they're bowling into a bit today.
And the weather here this morning is as good as it gets.
I'm very warm. It's wonderful.
It is nice. You brought the Bondi Sands sunscreen and it smells beautiful. So we've got that wafting into our nostrils all day.
It's very beachy.
Nicely done there from Louise Cronan to get the jack. One down now, so Cronan doing the job. Now, there is a possibility of a stream change in the final section, or the final session of the afternoon today, because there are schedule conflicts with some players in a plethora of events still. That's the quality that we are possessing right now at the Australian Open. So there could possibly be a change. We're not 100% sure. This session and the next session will remain as scheduled. So up next, we're going to be bringing you a women's singles semi-final. But after that, we're not too sure. It could be the women's pairs semi, but that may change. But we'll keep you posted throughout the day as to whether that happens or not. So stay tuned and we'll bring you all that as it happens.
And here come Trish's bowl. Looks pretty good. She was celebrated as it came out of her hand. Fantastic bowl.
So Taylor will indicate to Louise what she thinks the shot is, and I think that's 2 down.
2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah. So big pressure bowl for Louise Cronan early. So we are so blessed here because we have a pretty good view of all of the greens here. We'll try and bring you the scores as we can. Oh, sorry, all of the rinks. It's day 12. I'm pretty tired, okay? But no, we'll bring you all the scores as they happen. Obviously, we'll have to work out who's on which side of the board. But there also is there is live scoring. So you can keep an update on what is happening from around the Gold Coast.
Yeah, and get onto that Bowls Now app, and it's got everything you need, including, and a bunch more, all the blog posts from the communications team here and everything on that, and it's highly recommended.
Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't won a Walkley yet. I reckon that was...
I'll nominate you.
I think that was 2 there. Oh, just the 1. To Wilson and Doolan. So they're on the board. 18 ends. That's what we're playing to. Of course, unless the margin, as we've seen, extends beyond 6 with an end to play, or 12 with 2 ends to play, we don't play those. We don't play those final ends because shots up don't matter.
Good start there by Wendy. She's absolutely deadly here at the moment. That's a beautiful bowl. Just dropping in no more than 2 centimetres. Oh, no, and a touch, but she may have rolled Jack forward. She's no more than 2 centimetres. Hardest bowl to beat from a lead. And the response from Taylor's good, perfectly on the line.
So the rink next door, or 2 rinks down, I should say, Caitlin Inch and Chloe Stewart have taken the opening end over Dawn Heyman and Jamie Lee Walsnop. That's 1-0.
Of course, we're sitting behind the scoreboards here, so we'll be keeping a close eye on that.
And Carmen Anderson and Alan Faulkner have taken the opener in their quarterfinal as well. So they've taken 2. So we'll continue to bring you updates as quickly as we can, as Wendy Wilson has found her range pretty early here. Trish Doolan and Wendy, last year's finalists, of course. They had a wonderful run through.
Great bowls there by Wendy. 3 fantastic bowls.
I believe they may have knocked off, it might have been Rebecca Rickson and Jessie Cattell in the semis last year. I know the 2 losing teams in the semis last year were Chrissy and Ellen, and then Jessie and Rebecca. I'll double check that for you.
Taylor just dropping in behind, played the right weight, crossed as it should have, just not at the right spot. Still 3 down to start.
So no, they knocked out Ellen and Chrissy 20-17, and then Paris Baker and Olivia Bloomfield defeated Rebecca Rickson and Jessie Cattell. That was right here, almost a year to the day ago.
It's good to see people starting to tune in this morning and letting us know where they're from. We've got Cape Town, Papua New Guinea, Newcastle.
Good to have it. everybody joining us from around the world, wherever they're watching. Absolutely love the fact that we can communicate and have this dialogue with so many people that share the passion for bowls as this tournament heads to its climax on Thursday and Friday. One from Louise, just drifting underneath, but probably enough to, well, maybe not enough to affect the count. Wendy Wilson with some extraordinary lead bowling.
And Tris just put her first one back to cover that, and now trying to draw another one in close, probably just to beat Taylor at the back there, and has, and probably dropped it in for 4 at the moment. Big bowl here now from Louise.
Can Louise Cronan from Tarrant Point conjure up?
Just dropped in a bit short. Good line still. Should be disappointed with that and correct with some more weight next time.
So Tris, who goes by Tris, full name Tristania.
Tristania? Tristiana? Something like that. Tris is easier.
Yep.
Oh, this is fantastic.
And that is yet another one in the count. So they are applying the early pressure. Louise Cronan with a big bowl coming up already. The questions are asked. She's gone with a little bit more weight.
As she needed to, that wing bowl there, something to use and rest on now. And this is exactly, well, maybe.
It's dropped under. So let's see what the count is here. That's 2, 3, 4 moved out. No, 3. Thought there was another bowl in there. And now we're going to be measuring for the rest. So this could be a whopping collect in the second end for the defending runners-up. The ladies that conquered them, well, Paris Baker wasn't here. Olivia Bloomfield is out. So they would be licking their lips. That is 3, so they take a 4-0 lead after 2 ends here. Wilson and Doolan.
And that end just straight off the magnificent lead bowling by Wendy there. Put 3 on the line, hit Jack away, and had one sitting there right behind Jack. Very difficult to beat that standard lead bowling.
So the winner of this, Ben, will take on the winner of Kathy Verdich and Linda O'Reilly against Carmen Anderson and Alan Faulkner. Carmen and Alan currently leading that one 2-0. On the next rink over, Chloe Stewart and Caitlin Inch holding a 1-0 advantage at the present time. Those scores will tick over very soon. Very quick on the mat. Wendy and Taylor, no mucking around at the moment. Already in end 3. Hasn't been going for too long this contest, so really interesting start.
Taylor hoping to adjust quickly. She's had a couple of ends she wouldn't be really happy with. She's got the line, just got to find that weight. It can be a bit funny in the morning as the sun rises and changes the green up a bit.
So the viewership continues to climb this morning. We hope you're enjoying the Australian Open. I want to hear what's been your favourite part of Rinkside so far as we move into different modes of streaming tomorrow. We've got this for the multi-disability finals and other things, and we've got secondary rinks, we've got full-on television broadcasts, and we've got everything happening. Plenty on at the moment. It all kicks off, I believe, tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
Yeah, and then interesting that both men's and ladies' pairs partners not similarly dressed. They'll generally wear their own club colours.
Yep.
Bowls attire is generally the rule, so they could wear anything that
As long as it's got the NMP logo on it. The Bowls Australia approved logo. You can wear it.
And for the finals, we dressed them up in different colours so we can definitely tell who's who.
Yep. The famous blue and yellow kits of the Australian Open finals. It's what everybody wants to be wearing when they come to the Gold Coast, but only a select few get to wear it.
That's it. Everyone wants to wear blue and gold.
Taylor de Greenlaw has held the ascendancy here. So she wins the mini battle of the leads. But who wins the war of this end?
Yeah, Taylor's done well to adjust there to the weight, especially with their last bowl there jumping in. Wendy's a little bit wild on that end, considering how close she was on the previous end. She won't be very happy. Left a lot of room there for a skip to get into though. Claps there from Taylor as Louise Cronan puts down a very good bowl right on the line, a couple of feet back.
Steve Laurie, loving watching the young players, might be a biased uncle of Taylor's. I know she's got a lot of support. And look, if she gets through, there wouldn't be many 15-year-olds that have made Australian Open semi-finals. We're not too sure of the statistics there, but Kelsey Cottrell's probably one of them, considering she's just been around forever. But Taylor de Greenlaw, after making last year's junior final, has continued to develop. She's a little taller, that's for sure.
Was telling me this morning that she's feeling as stressed as anyone about the Taylor Swift announcing her dates for next year. No Queensland shows.
I think you were pretty excited about that, Ben.
I am. I've got 2 teenage daughters myself. I'll be in the queue and in the fight to get tickets like everyone else.
If anybody has any tips on how they can get Taylor Swift tickets, please let us know.
I certainly don't want to be going around having to fight teenage girls for for tickets. Is not a good look.
But you will if it has to get down to it.
My daughters are my priority there.
Exactly. Or send your daughters in to fight. But no, if you do know how to get Taylor Swift tickets pre-sale, let us know, because Ben Crickstelitis, he wants to make his daughter's day. Obviously, they're not released yet.
Triss has actually stolen a shot there on the wing with that wing bowl, I think.
She has. Now let's see what Louise Cronin can come up with. They need to get on the board. Oof. Took a rub, and it'll be yet another one. So Wendy and Triss, so they motor out to a 5-0 lead here.
Yeah, good rescue there by the skip. Taylor had done her job and had a few, and Triss managed to just sneak one in, and Louise, last bowl, sadly crashing into the one at the front and not quite making it to the jack.
Chloe Stewart and Caitlin Inch taking a 2 there. Taking another 1. Of course, the Australian Open. Proudly brought to you by Apia, who are proud to support the event volunteers and officials, and they are all here out in force in their nice-looking polos that have the big Apia logo on the back, and we appreciate all the support that Apia have given us throughout the 2023 AO. Oh, we have an umpire here.
They're checking the length.
Yeah. Louise and Taylor aren't quite sure that this has gone the required distance.
It looks like a cricket pitch length to me. I'm going to call this in.
Yeah, I'm going to call it in too. But we're gonna check. So let's see what the length will be. It looks okay, but sometimes looks can be deceiving.
Of course, Sandy standing over there watching her ITOs work. Watching intently, actually.
So let's see. No, that's
in.
Yeah, that's well and truly in. So no issues there.
Or that ITO doing what they always tell us not to do and just let it run. Oh, God. I don't like to see that at all. They know what they're doing better than I do. Good on them.
Brad Marin saying good morning. And Ruth Jones telling you to register for some pre-sales. Ben, I think you already have done, so
Yep.
You're on the ball. You're a good dad.
I signed up for pre-sales when Metallica went on sale, so I think I'm still on them all.
Sure you would be. So, Taylor to Greenlaw.
Yeah, Wendy wasted no time there. Straight after the measure was counted, she jumped straight on the mat and went. And then had a great response by Taylor. She's dropped it in maybe a couple of feet short. My view's a bit...
No, she had. I think she's secured it. But I think the thing with Taylor, we saw her in the very first pairs match we did at this Australian Open. Her leading was exceptional. And the way that she set the heads up for Louise, she's going to keep getting bowls in the count, and she's going to continue to be there, and Louise will do the same. So Wendy and Triss will not have it all their own way here. Although they've dropped out to a 5-0 lead, that's pretty easy to come back from in bowls after 3 ends. You've still got 15 to play, and that's the positive for Taylor and Louise. They can continue to chip back. But when Wendy Wilson is dropping him in like that, that is one. Still plenty of room.
Yeah, plenty of room. There's you're right. Game is about patience at this point. It's only the third end, and they've lost 2 ends, but they were pretty close both times, and it's time to just buckle down a bit and find that weight. And a beautiful, beautiful bowl there by Taylor. A little touch on the way through for a shot, and she'll be happy with that.
So brilliantly done from Taylor to Greenlaw. Mum Jess, of course, on the board. Bill and Lorna Armstrong watching from Benalla in Victoria, beautiful part of the world. -2 degrees there this morning where we are. Oh, I'm afraid the sun is shining and we can rub it in. 2-1 in the favour of Caitlin Inch and Chloe Stewart over Dawn Heyman and Jamie Lee Warsnop. Next door to us here between Ellen Faulkner and Carmen Anderson. Well, their match, they're leading 4-0 as Triss comes around the back. 1 to Greenlaw and Cronan at the moment, Ben.
Yeah, they're holding that one there, and Triss just pushing back, looking to maybe, playing with some intent, either to push Wendy's bowl up or move Taylor out.
Louise Cronan, well, the weight was good. She just crashed into Taylor's bowl. So, telling Triss to come around on the backhand here.
And she will. Those MCC shirts are beautiful. That's a target for me. I'll see if I can get one of those.
So,
I wonder if it comes with an MCC membership too.
It doesn't.
Oh, crashed in.
And she crashed in. Has that secured? No. But the door is open and they are covering the middle portion of the back there. Taylor de Greenlaw has one right at the back. But there's an option.
Probably the best back on the line there is Triss. So still a risky shot to play all the way through.
And Louise Cronan has played a ripper.
Played that beautifully. It's just sitting there about 3 inches in front of Jack, and Wendy asking Triss to change hands and run through a little. And here it comes. She's pushed it a bit wide by the looks. Yeah, won't come back from there.
So got Tay's back bowl. So that'll be it. They will score here. And they're currently holding 2. So a free kick for Louise Cronan to try and get a third one in and heap some pressure back on their opponents.
Take control back of the match. Sorry,
no,
Val,
that's all right.
And barring catastrophe.
That's true. That's true. It's a free kick, but not too free.
Exactly right.
It's never too free. You're always within reason, aren't you?
Here it comes. It looks good to there. It's just got to pull up.
That's good. That is a sensational bowl. That's one. That's two.
And the last one for the
and
measure.
We're going to get a measure. We've got a couple of bowlers standing right in our way here. So
yeah, she did kick the jack over a little bit, so I may have changed it slightly, but it's hard to tell from here. But the tape will let us know. Oh, it's close. Yeah, having a really good look here. Geez, it must be close. It must be, because this tight, you often call the umpire very quick. Oh.
That's two, I think.
I think she said one. We'll see here shortly.
Oh, it was only one. There you go. Okay. So that's a bit of a blow for Taylor and Louise, but they are on the board. You got to take the small positives. MCC Bowls located at Swinburne Avenue in Hawthorn, in Victoria or in Melbourne. Very nice looking bowling club. Rosalie Dickerson, Kelsey, she's not in the pairs. Her and Lindsay Clark were taken out yesterday. So that was a bit of a shock to see those two gone. Of course, Dawn is the only World Bowls Championship Jackaroo still left in the women's pairs draw. So Lindsay were taken out by Caitlin Inch and Chloe Stewart, who are still in the draw, and that is a tough first knockout round draw because Caitlin, of course, is in some sensational form. Almost took home a world indoor singles title back at Warilla last month for New Zealand and is going to be playing for the Blackjacks right here come late August. And Chloe Stewart, well, we know what Chloe Stewart is capable of. She's a superstar. 5-1 the score.
Absolutely, you've got me looking up the MCC Bowling Club now just to see exactly what it looks like. Maybe my next trip down to Melbourne, I'll head there and
get a shirt.
Actually, didn't think of that, but yep, the shirt. Maybe go down for a roll up as well. But
of course, it's a good day to be an Australian after the Ashes last night. I thought we had to bring that up at some stage. We've got State of Origin tonight at Suncorp, but we've also got the Ashes on Country of Origin, really. It's, one of the biggest rivalries that Australia has and that England has. Alan Faulkner said cricket is probably the biggest swear word that can come out of anybody's mouth today.
That's right. I noticed you waited till she was down this end to say that as well, to bring that up.
But no, Pat Cummins, captain, fantastic, 44 not out. Usman Khawaja, deservedly man of the match. Unbelievable performance from him. 140 and then a 66, I think it was. And cop that, Ollie Robinson, I say.
That's a different jackhammer. That one's behind us.
Yeah, well, they decided that they wanted to tear up the footpath behind us as well. So I'm not sure if you can. I'm not sure if anybody can hear that in the background. But
what have we got here?
Louise Cronan having to try and win this end back. I reckon she's holding two here. Wendy Wilson.
Yeah, Wendy's bowl sitting on Jack there. It's a bit of a target, but it's definitely a tough bowl to beat still. Well, she's played this quite well. It's just going to stop, I think, but perfectly online.
Karen, Joe Rootner, he was good, but he unfortunately couldn't get England over the line. And you can really hear the jackhammer in the back, apparently, so we do apologise if it is John Deegan. There we go. David Butterworth certainly can hear it. The old jackhammer. If anybody's watched Family Guy, they'll understand that. back to the bowls, and Louise Cronan is certainly doing her utmost. I think she's cut the count back down to 1.
Yeah, just got to make it here. Can't afford to be short. Must either push Wendy through a little bit or move Jack. She put the right weight on, played with the right intent, just didn't cross at the right spot. It has one more to make up for that. Here we go. Triss just looking for another here, and looks like she's pulled it in beautifully. Excellent. Hasn't given Louise much of a target at all. Something to rest on and maybe grab second, but unlikely to. Doesn't make it a big target to smash through. This will be an interesting shot. The line looks okay to there, depending on weight. Yeah, not enough weight to run through.
No. Summer, yep, that score is correct. It is 5-1. 1, 3 and a 1 to Wilson and Doolan to start proceedings, and then a 1 to Greenlaw and Cronin. Yes, Karen. Very good.
Here comes Triss with a bit of an open run at her own bowl there. And she's done it perfectly. Look at this, just running straight there. Weight was magnificent, didn't disturb the head and risk going down, risk losing shot. But 3 for the ladies there.
Yep, so that's a really good end. Rebounding nicely, and after 5 ends, they blow this out to an 8-1 buffer here, the 2022 runner-ups. And Joe Franzi, oh, here we go. This is, morning, boys. Hey, Val, you were talking about if you got a set of bowls, they would have to be yellow and black. If you're at Broadbeach tomorrow, I'll bring down my Henselite Dusties to show you. The limited edition, back-to-back Premiership edition. As a long-time Tigers tragic, are an awesome set of bowls. Joe has been, he was on our stream earlier. He's been marking for us. He's an absolute superstar. And yes, I will be at Broadbeach tomorrow, so please do bring those down. I would love to see them. Anything doused in yellow and black, I am a sucker for.
I think there's a fair chance that you may go home without them, Joe, if you hand them over to Val.
They are. I'm a sucker, and you can speak to Locke, actually. Lockie has seen my Guernsey collection, and I've got about 34 of them, I think, so I'm a bit of a Richmond psycho. But Chloe Morrison, my Nan Bowl's better than Ollie Robinson's 80-mile-per-hour Thunderbolts. I love it. I absolutely love the spitefulness that the Ashes creates, whether it was Stuart Broad in 2013 not walking, or Michael Clark's get ready for a broken arm. Mitchell Johnson in 2013-14 was just, that was amazing. Ended careers. There's Taylor to Greenlaw. Comes in. This is a good bowl. That is one. Louise calling it before it even stopped. Good morning to John Deegan from Thailand. 18 ends to play here to see who goes through to the semi-final. No time limit, of course. Can play as long as they want. Wonder what the longest match of bowls ever played is.
Longest match of bowls?
Fairly long. Can't quite see what's happening in the far rink between Brianna Smith and Emma Spicer against Genevieve Delves and Natasha Van Eldick.
I'll jump up and have a look.
Oh, but there is live scores available, so we can check that now. I said that before too. Oh, Jen and Tash. They've raced out here. 11-2 is the buffer. So they are playing very, very nicely. 11-2, Ben, in favour of Jen and Tash.
That's right. I just jumped up to check the scoreboard to make sure that was correct, and absolutely it is.
Oof. 6-0 to Faulkner and Anderson. They are motoring along. Of course, the winner of that to play the winner of this. And at the moment, it's certainly looking like it's going to be Tris and Wendy. But it could change, and we know that. Plenty of action here today. Men's singles quarterfinals on green 1. Fours action as well. Or green 3. I think this is green 1. Get confused here at Helensvale. I've only been here, this is only the 3rd time, so I'm still confused as to which green that we go on. But no, this is we're on green. Where are we now? We're on green 1, so green 3.
Yeah, it can be confusing often. If you come out on a balcony, they number the greens left to right, but they've gone green 1 here and green 3 over to the far end. Lots of action happening up there. Lots of people up on that other green at the moment as well.
There's a fair few here too.
Yeah.
So Tris has stolen shot. Bit of a clap there from Wendy Wilson.
It's a fantastic shot by Tris. Taylor was very close with her lead bowl and really good adjustment too. Tris's first bowl rocketed down and into the ditch, and they're just skillful enough there to be able to just draw it off. So ladies come down and have a look at the head. The Louise just dropped about, say, 8 inches short there. Really needed to play through a bit. If she's going to play that hand to knock Jack through, needed to play with 1.5 meters of weight. And dropping short wouldn't have helped much, I don't think.
Tris Doolan has been very, very, very good this morning. And we were blessed yesterday to see some exquisite bowling from most of the bowlers that we had on our rinks. And, you know, the middle game yesterday between Sale and Barton and Sheriff and Tees was magnificent. And then we had Twist and Wilson as Tris Doolan arrives and just goes a little bit too far. So that'll be 1 to the Victorian-Queensland combination.
Yep. At the moment, with Louise having 1 more to come, it's an interesting shot to play now, moving herself. If Louise moves,
it's difficult. Do you almost throw a Hail Mary at this and see what you can get?
She's got the best back. She's moving. Jack's got to move a long way. Tapping it's not going to be any good. They've got the opposition's got coverage at the back there.
Yep.
Just behind Jack.
So let's see what she can do. If she comes, she's gone with the backhand, so she's going to try and squeeze this out here.
Really good head of bowls. Everyone's very close here. Oh.
Louise Cronan just can't get the result. I thought maybe the forehand might be the hand to play there. That's just the 1. So 9-1 is the buffer after 6. We're a third of the way through. Yeah, I thought the forehand may be coming around, trying to tap that Jack through onto Wendy Wilson's bowl and then get it back towards that Taylor to Greenlaw yellow bowl.
Definitely, I think there was that little run there. She chose to go a bit heavier and just knocked Taylor out for 1 in, 1 out, and held her opposition to 1.
Yeah, Jay, Tris was recently ranked number 1 in Vic and number 2 in Australia. She's the closest person that's gotten to Kelsey Cottrell in the national rankings since Kelsey ascended the throne at number 1. And the opportunity for number 1 is very, very close. She'll need to win the pairs, but if Kelsey does win the singles, I reckon it might make things pretty difficult for Tris Doolan to usurp her.
Yeah, thanks for letting us know that, Joe. I wasn't actually aware of that Victoria ranking. That's quite an achievement. That's
well, number 2 in Australia is even better.
Yeah, that's right. Good bowling culture in Victoria, very strong. So yeah, well done, Tris.
And she won the triples at the Vic Open with Kate Argent-Bowden and Sophie Kersman.
As both ladies put their lead bowls back, and looks like Taylor's closest to the tee.
So a 9-1 lead. Still plenty of time to go. We're a third of the way through this contest, but Taylor and Louise don't want to let this get any worse than what it is. The alarm bells are singing, but they're not blaring. They're not blaring like the jackhammers behind us, who coincidentally aren't blaring, but now that I've mentioned them, I reckon they're going to start pretty soon.
The machine in front of us has switched to a different kind of scoop now, but certainly making a big rumble across both greens, and I don't think it's distracting the bowlers too much. Look at that, the 2 leads either side of the jack. Yeah, look at that. That's Taylor probably got shot there with her jack high bowl, but leaving a big target there for Wendy. I think it's going to cross the line. Yeah, didn't quite get there.
So what is the result going to be here for Taylor? To have Daryl Scott watching on, as next door, Dawn Heyman and Jamie Lee Warsnop have taken the lead 4-2 over Chloe Stewart and Caitlin Inch. Dawn Heyman, such a formidable opponent for anybody. And the way that she has bowled over the last few years, especially at home, she's been in ominous form.
I tell you what, we spoke yesterday about Disco being up and about and walking up and down the green with intent. You can see that in Tristiana here. Yep. She's shoulders back, walking high. She's really here and keen for the contest.
Certainly is. She's really wanting to go one better. I think they're a bit disappointed with how the final panned out against Olivia Bloomfield and Paris Baker in 2022. But with losses, with a loss comes a learning opportunity and an opportunity to get better. And they will utilise that experience, I'm sure.
Louise just dropping her head a bit there. She's body language isn't great so far. She's got time. Just needs to stay in the contest, taking a deep breath.
So, Tris Doolan, she quite likes this. She's intently watching. I think she's got the jack and she's got it through, and that will be enough.
Actually kicked it back far enough to her own bowl there at the back. That's fantastic. She'll be glad she put that one back, as I think she expected to move Wendy's bowl as well, and Wendy's bowl didn't keep going.
No, they've also got the Bacchus bowl, but covering the tee is Taylor de Greenlaw. So let's see what the aim is here for Louise Cronan. I'd say dead draw. She's doing that on the backhand, and she's not far away, but it is going to drift through. Trying to join those bowls at the back, or that bowl at the back, to ensure that a multiple isn't conceded.
Yeah, it's a good sighter for her. She'll get down and pull a metre off the next one and see if she can steal shot.
9-1, the lead is at 8. They've been on songs so far, have Tris and Wendy.
Yeah, Lance saying that Louise is bowling a fair few short bowls. It's just sometimes at the start in the morning, the length can be a bit hard to pick, even after a roll up. And they did a roll up very early from the game, and the green may have changed again. So we'll see how she goes with this next one. Tris just coming around the back there.
Yep, so that's 1. Or is it 2? That bowl sitting at about 11 o'clock for Wendy Wilson. Is that in the count? That's the question.
Here's Louise. She's watching this pretty intently.
It's dropping under. And it goes through. So that is just the 1. 7 ends gone. And the lead is at 10-1 in the favour of Wendy Wilson and Tris Doolan. Around the rinks here, 6-1 the lead of Alan Faulkner and Carmen Anderson. 4-2 still the lead for Dawn Heyman and Jamie Lee Warsnott. And I will get the...
11-5 over there. As I lean back, I can see.
It is. That is to Natasha Van Eldick and Genevieve Dells over Emma Spicer and Brianna Smith. Brianna, of course, my co-host on the right line. She's an absolute superstar, Brianna Smith.
I listen to the right line every time. I think I've listened. I was late to it and I binged.
Oh, so you're the one.
I binged it. I binged about 20 episodes. I think you're up to 50 now or 50 something.
No, 59 we've done. Or
now.
58, 59, yep. It's been a wonderful ride, and we hope to keep building on that momentum. Lindsay Clark, of course, going to be welcomed back after her World Bowls commitments are done. Hope she doesn't ditch us. A lot of support for Tris Doolan here this morning on the comments. It's a very popular bowler.
A little bit. Taylor not showing her usual consistency. Usually a very, very consistent bowler. It's good to see Tris has so much support. I'm surprised I haven't seen much of her. I'm a bit disappointed actually watching today how well she's going. I think that's a shame. And Wendy's having a pretty good run in lead as well. That short bowl she won't be happy with that last one. Holding shot there. So, Wendy Wilson has held sway, but Taylor de Greenlaw, I reckon she's done enough, and she has. Yeah, I've got a pretty good angle there outside the camera on that one, and she's probably a good 6 inches closer than Wendy at the front.
Matthew McGowan, Louise Cronan. Love it. Love the passion. I love the support that everybody gets, and it's just been a wonderful fortnight. This is the 3rd Australian Open that I've been a part of. First one in 2021, covered remotely because Victorians weren't allowed out, which was disappointing. But last year got to come here and experience the tournament in its full effect, and this year has been even better. The bowls, well, they've just been magnificent.
Yeah, my first Australian Open, and I'm just got here for the second week, and I'd agree the standard is something for that I now have to try to reach. Is the best way to put it.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
As Louise might have just shot it a little bit too far.
Well, I think she's managed to sit there for 2 for the second shot. So
I'm not sure. I only saw Taylor put up one finger, but it may have been an obstructed one. Could have been a second.
Well, they definitely need the multiple now. When you're in the halfway mark.
When you're down 10-1, yeah.
Oh, Tris.
Has it done enough? Tris Doolan. Sensational. That'll do.
Yeah, 4 to 5 inches in front of Jack is the call there from Taylor. And let's see what Louise has got.
Mary Irene, I'd say supporting Taylor and Louise. Get one end at a time. Has she rocked that bowl up enough? Taylor's rocking with it. And
yep,
Still one to Wendy and Tris. So one more to come for Tris Doolan. This has been an exemplary start to this contest for them. 7 ends. They've scored 10 shots. Only the 2 multiples scored so far, but both of them for Wendy and Tris, and both of them threes. Certainly doesn't help the de Greenlaw Cronan cause, looking for that semi-final berth here at the 2023 Australian Open, presented by Apia, who are helping you live the good life and play bowls.
No. Mark Rooney just saying that uniform looks better on you, Wendy. Wendy having recently changed clubs. And
well, hats off, and that'll be 2.
Hats off and high fives all round as Tris runs down the green. Oh, and chalk.
But what's the option here for Louise Cronin? The jack is kind of masked away, but if she can get a little nudge on it, push it towards her own here, maybe on the forehand, or does she go on the backhand and squirt it out? Actually, I think that's probably the better option here. Going on the backhand, squirting it out with some weight, hitting the jack and getting it towards those 2 Taylor de Greenlaw bowls.
Yeah, she definitely needs to move something. Something's got to change in the head. There's no real draw shot on at either point. I think that shot on the on her backhand, which looks like she's lining up. Oh,
see where she goes here.
Where her feet go, but on the backhand's the hardest shot because Wendy's bowling in the front.
Forehand here for Louise Cronin. She'll probably look to try and move this jack back. She'll arrive. Let's see where it goes. It's not far away. It is not far away, and she got it, but where did it end up? I think she got it. Yep, well done, Louise Cronin. That is a brilliant bowl.
Fantastic shot. Just using Taylor's bowls there on the wing and bashing her way through, moving jack back to her own bowl. Fantastic shot.
It was a pivotal end. They needed to win it. They were down 2. Tris Doolan asked the question, and Louise Cronin responded with style.
Let's see if there's a change in length here. I think there is. The mat's gone back a fair way. Let's see where she puts jack.
Been alluded to by Lockie that might be a Taylor Swift reference. She's got a song called Style. There you go. The theme of the morning. T-Swizzles.
Closet Swifty over there, Lockie. Picked up the reference before I did. Well done.
I had no idea. I might be a Swifty and I didn't know it. So, can Taylor and Louise shake it off?
Well, it is... Or can Tris continue her era of strong bowls?
The best ones were in the Formula One when there were the rumours of Fernando Alonso and Taylor Swift dating, and David Croft whipped out so many Taylor Swift references it wasn't funny. But they do need to shake off the 10-2 deficit and the start that they've had and just continue to push.
And thinking about the game, obviously here Taylor's taking the mat back even further before she delivered the jack, so it's now hanging off the back of the rink and from the tee, and has pushed jack a very long way, and is actually made her bowl sits pretty much a couple of inches in front of the tee at the other end, so you can see the jack's about 1.5 meters, maybe 2. Here comes Wendy, wasting no time. It's tough to see. I've got players in front, but good line. It's going to pull up in front of Taylor. Good adjustment needed there and good weight. It's good to be back. It's never want to be short on a long end.
So the match between Emma Spicer and Brianna Smith and Natasha Van Eldick and Genevieve Delves, well, they were down 11-2, Spicer and Smith, and they've stormed back. It's 11-9 now, so that match well and truly up for grabs. Brianna Smith was saying before, she went to Dracula's last night in Broadbeach. That might have spurred her on, might have given her the energy to push on, as Maddie Lucas gives us a wry smile. You been to Dracula's, Maddie? Apparently not.
A few bowlers at Dracula's last night. Oh, Martin Bain with the statistics. 1987 World Indoor Singles Final, Bryant versus Orcock, was over 6 hours long, 9 sets each.
Oh, 6 hours. David Bryant, well, we know the greatness that he possessed.
The change of length having its effect. The adjustment's really difficult. When he's done enough here for two, I'd suggest. One long, one short, and then one close. But holding two's the preferred position, but look, I don't think Louise would be too upset with Taylor's two back bowls there.
And it just so happens that we've got a Taylor playing. Taylor Swift, Taylor to Greenlaw.
Our names.
Yep, certainly is.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
So, Alan Faulkner and Carmen Anderson, they are racing away. They're at 12-1 ahead. Their opponents, 4-all on the rink next door between Chloe Stewart and Caitlin Inch, and Dawn Heyman and Jamie Lee Warsnott. Jamie Lee, of course, seeing her partner Aaron Wilson on song yesterday.
Oh.
She'll want to replicate that. And, of course, Carmen and Alan taking on Kathy Verdich and Linda O'Reilly of New South Wales.
Great shot there by Louise. She's taken a shot on the open side. Well, they're both fairly open, but that's the more open side. As I'm discovering, watching this match for the last 8 innings, you can never write off Triss. Yep, still holding one, the team of Greenlaw and Cronan. Triss's bowl just bashing into Wendy, but not quite square enough to roll her up, and just deflected her off to the side a little bit, or back onto the line. Well, Louise is after this, running down. Hard to see where it's... Oh, it's ended up quite short.
Tell you what, with the sun right at our backs, the water is going down very nicely this morning.
Yeah, it's warming up.
Yep. So the advantage here for Triss, and look, they've only had to worry about it once, but having last bowl, I think, is a real advantage for her, because after the only other end that De Greenlaw and Cronin won, Triss and Wendy responded with a 3. So they're currently in a pretty good position at the moment.
Oh, wow.
Well, they've got 2.
That is exactly where Wendy asked her to put it. She marked it with her foot and has run in and stolen the shot. So where does... She's had a really good look at this, Louise. Where does she go now? She's playing her backhand. Good pace on this bowl. Oh, big interest from Taylor. She's calling it across, wants the touch on the jack, and has got it beautifully. Well done by Louise there, kicking jack across to Taylor for 1.
Yep, that's brilliant.
They're having a really good look at this. So tell me, Val, are there time limits on these games?
There are not. Quarterfinals and beyond in the open women's pairs and fours and singles, all untimed.
That's good news, because otherwise I think the time there the ladies were discussing that game may have caused some bad blood.
No time at all. And the match between Brianna Smith and Emma Spicer and Jen Delves. Well, Brianna Smith, they've taken the lead. They're 11-2 down. They're up 12-11.
That's a massive turnaround. Did not see that coming at all. At 10-2 down when we first reported the score. And that's one to Taylor and Louise. But they had 10-2 down. That wasn't long ago. Absolutely amazing. Wouldn't have expected to come back that quickly in my wildest dreams. Well, interestingly, Taylor's chosen not to continue with the long end straight away. Maybe a bit of a tactic here. She's gone long and now gone short. Let's see what she can do. It's a hard adjustment, but playing the mind games here, which is a good tactic when they're still 7 shots down at the halfway point. She's dropped that one about a foot and a half as it rolls out. Yeah, maybe 2 feet in front of Jack. And here comes Wendy with a very quick response. She does not waste time on the match. She knows exactly what to do, what she's doing, and has, drawn shot there, less than a foot behind. Talk about being starstruck. One of my favourite players, Cass Miller, just walked past us here.
Yep.
Lots of Moama support here. I think their boys are playing in the 4s up in the top.
It's great to see Moama, one of the bigger clubs.
Amazing facility down at Moama. And Wendy just pushing this one a little bit wide. Still holding shot there, I'd suggest. I'm just looking. They both look very similar on the back, and usually you'd favour the one on the line, but Wendy's bowl is laying down. He's just hoping he stops by the look of the way a hand movement there, and it's just dropped in behind. Still very handy. Well done there by Taylor. Probably her best end out of the last couple. Maybe she prefers the shorter ends. We'll find out. And here comes Wendy again. Oh, just around that front bowl for one. Fantastic. One called by Triss. That's a tough shot.
Multiple ends now for Louise and Taylor as they look to get themselves back in this contest. Shaking it off one end at a time. I'm going to stop with the Taylor Swift references now.
Oh, I'm not.
Love it. Absolutely love it.
Here comes Louise on that backhand.
Louise.
Oh my goodness, great shot.
That is good. She's warming up now. 1 to the New South Wales team. The Cabra-Tarrant Point duo.
Two different zones, those teams.
Yep.
Tarrant Point in zone 12 and Cabra in zone 13. They're not what you call traditional rivals, but two very strong clubs. Actually, Cabra represented all over this grade at the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot on three of the 4 rinks.
And St John's Park there as well.
Yeah.
Those red and blue shirts really showing up. Triss just nearly got that one, just bounced off the outside of Louise's bowl.
Louise Cronan, and she got in a second. Yep, that'll be 2. That will be 2. And she is having some sort of an end here, warming up beautifully.
Here comes Tris. We can never write her off. A remarkably skilled player. Has chosen her forehand, hoping to move Jack back to their 2 bowls there. On that little quarter, has really close. Oh my goodness, has pushed Jack back. He's holding 4 shots maybe. We can see the yellow ones. I called that a bit early, but that's a remarkable bowl.
That's unbelievable, Tris Doolan. Anything you can do, I can do better.
Well, she's hit that as essentially a bare Jack. Hit it right in the guts and pushed it all the way back, so it's at least 2. And all in front of her, Louise Cronan. It was playing that hand, absolutely an absolutely fearless shot. She played with the right weight. Well, Louise not happy with herself there.
No.
Really head down again as she walks up. It's not good to see that. I'd like to see her lift and will herself back into the game. She's got the skills to do it. Body language at this level can be so important, especially in a team game. You encourage your teammates. As the skipper, you're the lead of the rink, and you've got a young lead. You want to stand tall and keep giving that hope. But here comes Tris on her backhand. She's changed over, which is a good choice. She had nothing much on the forehand after knocking Jack through there. Let's see if this will stop is the question. Might have run through just enough. Just too much, sorry.
1, 2. Is it 4? Those 2 Taylor to Greenlaw bowls. If they had anything to say, they would be shouting it right now, saying we're closer. Well, we hope we are.
And the magic fingers weren't quite cutting it, so out comes the tape. The tape doesn't lie, as they say. But it's 2 so far. Three is the call. So a multiple there puts them 10 shots up after 10 ends.
So that's huge, and another multiple. It certainly doesn't help the cause for the New South Welshmen or women.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to be 10 shots in the red at this stage of the game. It's a long way back from here. They do need to lift their heads and commit a little bit. They can. They've got the skills to do it. They just need to be positive and hopeful.
So we'll do an Around the Rinks update. Chloe Stewart and Caitlin Inch leading 6-4 over Dawn Heyman and Jamie Lee Warsnott. Alan Faulkner next door. And Carmen Anderson, they are having some sort of a morning against Kathy Verdich and Linda O'Reilly. They lead 15-1. And then Emma Spicer and Brianna Smith, they've stormed. Get this, they were 11-2 down. Since then, they've got a 1, 2, 4, 3, and 4, and they lead it 16-11 after 10 against Natasha Van Eldick and Genevieve Delves.
That is an absolutely startling
monstrous
run of scores. That's amazing. Oh, good shot there by Wendy, just dropping in front after the first one ran long. I'm absolutely fascinated by this game happening over on the... it's our far right. Absolutely amazing. What a run of scores. What a comeback. All right, Wendy back on her backhand again, running after her last bolt. Skipper willing it to turn and come back in, and it has. And it's just going to match up, or maybe just defeat the her other bowl there, sitting just in front of Jack. And here comes.
Yep. Let's see.
Yeah, Taylor on a forehand.
Just gone underneath. Just crashed in, has it rolled up and almost might have cut it down to one, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I watched that pretty close, though. I thought that was going to get run all the way through, but it didn't quite get there.
So, of course, if you want to look at the live scores for all of the other rinks, you can do so via results.bowlslink.com.au or download the Bowls Now app. Everything is live scored here. So we can also bring you updates as well as we go along. But this match is quickly getting out of hand for the New South Wales pairing.
That's right, I can't see them getting back together at this point.
But we've still got 8 ends to play. A big collect if they can get it. Doesn't happen much, but if they can get it, it can help. And now they're covering the back, Tris and Wendy here too.
That wasn't me being overly negative. It's just another Taylor Swift reference. But the look, there's time. There's still just under half a game to go. And as you can see on the other rink, the comebacks definitely happen. Just stay confident, stay positive, and give themselves a chance.
At the moment, it's 2.
How are we going here? What's Louise got? Taking her time on the mat. Which is something I tend to do as well. Think a lot about the bowl.
Yep. Now this one's going to crash. Will it promote? No. So 2 here and an opportunity for Wendy, for Tris Doolan to really inflict some more damage.
I'd say at least 2. It's interesting that the screen look on live that bowl of Tris is out wide looks a long way away, but on the TV there it looks a bit closer, so it's hard to tell how far away those front bowls actually are. Let's see what Tris has got. She's pushed it out wide again. Cutting in now. A size 3 XG's rolled it over. No calls from the other end.
Covering that right wing there. Genevieve Delves and Natasha Van Eldik, they've won an end. Let's see what this one has done. Has it pulled up in time? No. One. Oh.
Louise, very, very unlucky there. Yeah, that's
2. Is it going to be a third?
Louise, very unlucky there not to just crash into Tris. Just ducked under very slightly. Any touch would have been an advantage.
We're going to measure, and this margin is going to extend out to 12 or beyond. 6 all next door between Stewart and Inch and Warsnop and Heyman. And I'll give you an update from the Van Eldik rink after the score has updated and we get this measure. But this is looking like 3. That is...
3 it is.
Yep. So after losing 2 ends in a row, the margin was 7. Now that margin is at 13.
But it's still on.
It is.
They've still got to keep grinding away until they find a way into some form. It can only be... Confidence can come from one multiple in one end.
Yeah.
And the whole game shifts.
16 to 11 still. The update hasn't come, but we do know that Warsnop... Oh, sorry, that... oh, no, it was a 4.
Yeah.
16-15. What a match going on. A couple of rinks over. But this one here, like, look, it's, you know, Louise and Taylor, obviously, you know, they're very young. They have had some sort of a tournament, you know, while this result might be beyond them. It's not yet, of course. It might be beyond them, but they have shown maturity well beyond their years here at this Australian Open. And look how level-headed they are. They're down by 13, but they are unflappable. They're still doing whatever they can to try and get bowls in their head. But Wendy and Tris have just been magnificent, and they're so hard to knock off.
Yeah, great big futures ahead for Taylor and Louise, and then another Australian Open campaign next. They'll...
Yep. And Louise Whitehead summing it up. Tris has had the answers, and look, she has. And Wendy's led excellently. And that one drifting past, but those back bowls will certainly come into the equation at some stage, I'm assuming. Taylor needs to get one past as well. Let's see what this weight does. Needs it to hold. It is going to come past. And is it going to do enough for shot? Probably not. I'm not sure who I'm favouring now. I'm still probably favouring that Taylor to Greenlaw bowl. Tris giving Wendy a little mark of where she wants it. Good morning to Sandra Bruce, who's watching on. Wendy getting her weight right.
Has done enough to steal shot there from Taylor, who's put one forward, one back, and if she adjusts correctly, should be able to get a shot. It's very open in there.
Of course, oh, hang on. I was going to say don't click the links, but that's been posted by us.
So do click that one.
Do click that one, that's okay.
Michael Brindle saying up the Queenslanders. I don't think there's Queenslanders on this.
Or Wendy Wilson, yep.
Oh, there is. Sorry, my apologies.
She is a Queenslander. There's a lot of Queenslanders are in here. Origin tonight, of course, so the Queenslanders will be fired up, I'm assuming.
Tonight. That's my naive West Australian brain operating there. I had no idea that was on tonight. There you go. Here is having a really good look up the other end. We've got Wendy holding one there at least. Here comes Tris on her forehand.
What's she got? She's had the answers.
She's got that one back. Great line. Probably pushed it too hard. She would just be drawing to that really quite open jack there. It's probably they probably can't see it though. Those two front bowls will be blocking the view of the jack. So they'll be playing on instinct just to beat those front bowls. And look at this by Louise.
Louise Cronan. The endeavour by Taylor and Louise not to get shaken. Obviously, this wouldn't be easy for them, but, you know, they've handled themselves with dignity here.
Dignity's right.
And it's not over. It is not over by any means necessary. Brianna Smith and Emma Spicer were down 11-2. And on their rink, they lead 16-15. It was 16-11. 18-1 the lead for Ellen Faulkner and Carmen Anderson.
Trish just cut the line there, but enough weight and good enough for one. Backdoored it.
So yeah, Faulkner and Anderson leading Verdich and O'Reilly. 18-1, they're in a pretty good spot at the moment. Jen and Tash win the end again. So let's see what the score is once that updates. As Louise just can't get there. The line was okay, just needed a little bit more weight.
And Trish just back on her forehand again. Played that last time, it was too narrow and crossed, but still managed to get a shot. She knows the weight. She knows what's required. And two it is.
Emma Spicer, there's an opportunity here. Has she shut her own door? No, Taylor's still instructing her to go down on the same hand. So if she can, maybe get a little trail and see what happens.
A bit more weight there.
Yep, purposeful, but it is going to come underneath. Unless she might get a little bit of luck.
Was up on the running surface.
Yep, she has. A little bit of luck there for Louise Cronan and Taylor de Greenlaw, but they get the shot. The margin at 12, 16 for the lead at the 2/3 point of this contest. 12 ends played, 6 to go at this stage. If it is above 6, we won't play the full count of ends, but we will see how we go. Emma Spicer and Brianna Smith, they were up 16-11 after being down 11-2. Now Natasha Van Eldick and Genevieve Delves have taken a 17-16 lead in that contest. 9-6 the lead for Dawn Heyman and Jamie Lee Warsnop over Caitlin Inch and Chloe Stewart. And of course, well, we wouldn't be here without the support by major events, Gold Coast and the Queensland Government through Tourism and Events Queensland. What an Australian Open this is. What a morning this has been. A plethora of wonderful bowlers on green one here at Helensvale. It's been magical.
And really is, and looking up again every day this week, not a cloud in the sky, a really light breeze, but it's very warm sitting here. No need for our cardigans, but it's that last end we did say that Louise got lucky. She played a heavy shot to knock her own bowls up, and that's and it worked out.
And you got to be in the area.
Gave it every chance.
And I think Amanda Jeff saying that the score doesn't indicate how well the girls are playing. And if you look at the last 5 ends, they've actually won 3 of the last 5. It's just a shame that the 2 that they've conceded have been 3s. But really, it's been 1-1.
Oh.
Yeah, they've actually been, around. They just, unfortunately, there's been a little bit of luck that's gone against them, and that happens in bowls sometimes. But I've liked the unflappable nature of Taylor and Louise. That one going into the ditch there. 2 in the ditch, so Wendy Wilson just needs to keep another one up.
Yeah. Notice that Taylor's gone T to T. That's the longest end we've seen. It's the longest available. Matt is right back beyond the tee here. The front of the mat is just on the tee, and the jack all the way as far as it will go. And both ladies have. Well, Taylor's pushed her first 2 into the ditch.
Yep.
Hopefully this one stays.
Yeah, this one needs to stay. Absolutely pivotal.
But even Wendy's first 2, they're a bit long and off centre. And this one's better. Perfect. Great adjustment by Taylor.
That's the adjustment she needed, and she's holding sway. So what has Wendy Wilson got in reply? Taylor de Greenlaw, she should be really happy with that. Because obviously there's a lot of pressure on that third bowl. If you've got none on the green, you'd feel like, oh my God, I am in so much trouble. But what a way to correct.
Yeah, perfect. Absolutely perfect.
And that yellow bowl is a rose between 3 very green thorns.
Yeah, it is tough when you've your first 2 aren't even on the rink, and your opponent is putting them on there. It can get easy to get in your head, but she's adjusted beautifully. It's a couple of metres to adjust as well, and she did it fantastically. That last bowl, an absolute ripper. And here comes Louise for the follow-up.
Oh, Louise Cronan. Louise Cronan. Hats off.
Magnificent bowl.
good start to the end. So, this is interesting now. If they can get, if they win this end, that's 4 of the last 6 that have gone the way of the New South Wales duo. And they can start to maybe have a little bit of belief. They haven't scored a multiple yet, so I think that's the first task. Get a multiple. Try and cut that lead back as much as they can. It's 12 now. As Tris Doolan, well, it's as magnificent as it gets, really. To pick that out with her first bowl.
Over the longest end possible, just to be that precise, that's remarkable bowling. Surgical.
I think that's the perfect word for it. Surgical. Yeah. What a Louise Cronan's surgical skills. Just going to drop under, but she may... No.
Good communication between both teams here. They really listen to each other for the shots to be called.
Connie watching from Namibia. Good to have your company.
Push this one with a little bit more weight, I think. Maybe intending to come to the back. Movement on Jack now, very difficult for Louise Cronin. She doesn't have a heavy shot on. Sadly, she needs to outdraw.
Jen Delves and Tash have won another end. That match certainly ebbing and flowing. So what have we got here for Louise Cronin? She comes through, makes a couple of knocks. Still going to be one to Tris and Wendy with one to come. So this is a big bowl to try and maybe really stem that tide and stem any chances. Colin Bray watching on. We're at his home club this morning. Good morning to you, Colin.
All right, good lineup. Very precise pre-shot ritual there by Tris. I've been noticing she's got a very compact style. Has turned her back. Probably at this point, knowing what the score is and knowing just keeping keeping the mat is all important. Happy just to stay away from that completely.
Yep, and that'll be the one.
They're pulling the tape out. I suspect it's only one.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it'll be anything more than that, but you do never know. So we'll try and keep bringing you updates. Yep. Two, there you go. And all of a sudden, that lead extends to 14. Very dangerous territory for the young New South Wales pairing. Try to keep bringing you all the updates across the rinks. Alan Faulkner and Carmen Anderson, well, they are having some sort of morning. They lead 18-2 over Kathy Verdich and Linda O'Reilly.
Game over in our far right. That's 34 shots in 13 ends. That's a high-scoring game.
It's insanely good. The momentum swings. 18-16 is the lead to Delves and Van Eldick over Spicer and Smith. Wendy Wilson finding a nice home back here. I believe that is a 10. Oh, I believe that's a 1 to Heyman and Worsnop over Stewart an inch.
Yeah,
10-6 is the lead to the Jackaroo pairing.
Yeah, averaging nearly three an end over there. But here the ladies, Wilson and Doolan can afford to play a bit defensively now, and probably would expect to play a bit defensively. Good shot here by Taylor.
So they can continue to increase this deficit here. Doolan and Wilson. This one will be finishing up soonish.
Oh, well.
And that one is insanely good from Wendy.
Here's something on that far rink I've noticed. That is one of the most uniquely coloured sets of bowls I've ever seen.
It is, isn't it?
They're green with red and orange spots all around the way. It's not an aesthetic I choose.
There's a lot of spots going on. So Taylor to Greenlaw, holding sway at the moment, I believe.
Yeah, looks it.
Yep. She looks pretty darn close.
It's about 10:30. It's time for that breeze to kick up.
Yep.
I want to set my watch to it every day this week.
A reminder, prepare for wind. Not that wind, the actual nature wind.
Oh. Trish just throws her head back in disgust there. Wasn't happy with that bowl.
Probably one of the worst bowls she's put down, but she won't mind.
Definitely the first wild one, yeah.
Yeah.
Louise just chucked her first one back.
Because this one could be going there. What's Tris Dolan got? Bob Young from Tweed, from the John Flynn Hospital. Hope you're okay, Bob. Hope everything's all right. Wendy Wilson keeping him sane, and I reckon that bowl might be keeping him sane as well, because that's brilliant from Tris Dolan. What a correction.
It's up and down. Both ladies indicating that it's too close to call.
Yeah, from this angle where we're looking at the head, looks like it's one to Tris, but then when you look at the screen, it looks like it's one to Taylor.
Yeah, that one on the line often. They're both laying down. Shadow's about similar distance. Who knows? She's calling it through. Which is probably a smart call there, holding the best back. Good way to find a multiple and good way to take the measure out.
One will go under. So opportunity here for Tris Dolan to make some more and cause some more misery for Taylor and Louise, who, again, they haven't been far away, but it's just been one of those mornings, I think, performed magnificently throughout this tournament to get to a quarter-final. Such a great learning experience as well for them. But it's getting more and more difficult.
Just running after this one. Looks happy.
Yeah, she does. She looks very happy. That'll be enough. That's one confirmed. So Louise Cronan, what's the task here?
Well, she threw her first one pretty hard and just bounced off the front one, which is out of the way now. Has that clobbering chance. Needs multiples. There's no real draw on. Has to thump this pretty hard to get back to her bowl at the back. She's just got to have a crack. long discussion here between them. They're certainly talking about how hard to hit this, I think. There's no draw on.
Nope. They can talk as long as they want because no time limit here. Need to make sure they're measured. But yeah, the draw is out of the equation, so I think this is going to have to be weight. Louise Cronan to keep them alive.
Well, it's the right weight.
Gone big. And just missing. So that, I believe, just the one. And it is. So the margin is at 15, 19 to 4. And a 4 here would actually finish things off. We haven't seen a 4 yet. But if Wendy and Tris can secure one, the match will be over after this end. So they will be smelling the finish line. At far rink, give you another update. Spicer and Smith against Delves and Van Eldick. 19-16 lead to Jen and Tash. Having been down 16-11, they've won the last 4 ends. That match ebbing and flowing unbelievably.
Wendy's lead bowl, defensive. Well back behind Jack. And good thinking. Well done, Taylor there. In behind Jack as well. A couple of feet back.
So 4 will do it on this end for Wilson and Doolan. Anything less than that or a score to Greenlaw and Cronin, and we continue.
Taylor's put another good one here, look.
Yeah. This is a really good end from Taylor to Greenlaw. Alan Faulkner and Carmen Anderson. They've pulled out to a 19-3 lead against Kathy Verdich and Linda O'Reilly. And Warsnop and Heyman leading 10-8 over Inch and Stewart. So Taylor to Greenlaw to put a 3rd into the count here. She's just gone a little bit too far. But who knows, that one might come into the equation a little later on as we get the changeover. Tris and Louise make their way down the green. The de Greenlaw Cronin combo holding 2 at the present. Down by 15 with 4 ends to play, or 3.5 ends to play. Place in the semi-finals, back-to-back semi-finalists. The only pair still running from last year's tournament that made it through that far.
Tris with that wonderful pre-match routine. Sets a bowl very deliberately in a hand. Steps onto the mat.
Tris Dolan. Oh, found the gap. It looked good from our angle here.
That looked like she was just going to sit and rest on that back bowl for a shot, but just continued through. That surprised me greatly. And Louise is out there she's in the right area. Oh, probably wanted the inside edge of Wendy there. But a good sighter. Tris again, let's see if she's got the correction. Doesn't take much correction, but she still needs to get there. Looks like she's, overcorrected just a little. makes it hard on that hand for Louise on the any kind of draw.
It does. So I dare say we're going to go to another end here. Taylor and Louise have both fought valiantly. They've tried so hard, haven't they?
Yep.
And Tris has been, as a skip, she's been the dream skip, really. So that one probably comes in for...
I can't see if it beats that wing bowl, but it'll be close.
Yeah, not far away.
Tris
not
again,
far
deliberate.
away.
I've seen that really deliberate hand placement before in a late bowler called Tony Cronan. He taught me the exact same way, and it's just a habit I never managed to pick up.
So what I can tell you is that Brianna Smith and Emma Spicer have taken the mass back, and that Chloe Stewart and Caitlin Inch, they are down 8-10 against Dawn Heyman and Jamie Lee Warsnop, but they have the mat at the moment. So let's see what Brianna and Emma scored. So what's the count here? I reckon it'll be 2. It is. So they get their first multiple. The margin at 13. So they need to score here to ensure that it goes into another end. Tris and Wendy just need to win the end, and they finish off the match right here in end 16.
It's tough here trying to keep all our bits of electronics out of the sun. They're all overheating.
Yep, it should be okay. The sun will come over the protective sunshade very, very shortly. So we continue this contest. Taylor has gone pretty long here.
Really important end. Yeah, they formed well and picked up their multiple there on a long end. She hasn't got the jack back as far. It's a small couple of metre adjustment, and she's in the ditch with the first one.
But we know that she can make very good corrections. So Tris Doolan and Wendy Wilson, all they need to do, as I said, is win this end and it is over. Taylor and Louise need to score a big one. They need to get moving. Still by no means over. 18 shots on offer for them. Or actually, no, the one in the ditch definitely doesn't help. 17 shots on offer out of a possible 18.
Yeah, when you ran a little over 2 metres short there, and look at this adjustment. You called it, Val.
Great correction from Taylor to Greenlaw.
Very skillful player, massive future in front of her, getting to this stage of the pairs competition for a start. But Taylor's, adjusted well. Yeah, good shot there by Wendy. Great reply, sitting just to the side of Jack. They still don't have one back, which gives, if Taylor and Louise load up the back a bit carefully, because the Jack's right on the tee. Oh, wow. And the reply.
Insanely good, but that is still going to be one to Wendy Wilson.
But sitting there too next to the Jack, really needing that big multiple is incredibly important.
And all they need to do, as I said, Wendy and Tris, is claim this end.
Wendy with the catcher there at the back now, making movement of the Jack tough for Louise, but they have to take the risk. They have to move Wendy out of that spot and sit for at the right weight. She'll sit for 3, but then she's also then got to compete with Tris, who's bowling a great game.
Yeah, she's been sensational. Probably the bowler of the game. I can confirm that it's 19-17 on the Delves Van Eldick v Spicer and Smith rink. And I'd say Spicer and Smith are holding sway with 3 ends to go there as Louise does her utmost.
Cool. Making a little cluster of bowls there.
Yep.
Trish has got to be careful of that because they've only got one in their head.
Well, they need a multiple.
Oh, definitely.
Or another multiple. They just scored their first in the previous end to get the margin back to 13. Can they keep the game going?
Shake of the head. She's not happy. Looks all right to me.
Yeah, that's... I don't think she's too pleased, but, it's ended up around the mark. But I think Louise is going to have a crack at that Wendy Wilson green bowl at some stage.
Oh, she's got some intent there.
No, I think it's going to drop underneath, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was the...
So that's in the ditch. Of course, all they need to do is score on this end. And we continue. But then if they score on this end, if it's a 1, they need a 6 in the next 2 ends after that to take it to an extra end.
Here comes Trish. Believe it or not, she'd be looking to almost playing a similar shot just to...
Yeah, she's gone through, but let's see. She's got one more to come. So she'll have the final say here, and unless Louise Cronan can't do anything about it. So this could be it. Let's see what Louise Cronan has got.
Out wider.
She is. But inconsequential. And that's it. They're going to declare we're shaking hands. That's it. Yeah.
Just confirming there with...
shaking hands, that's it. They've confirmed. Hands. So there it is. It's a 1. 20-6 is the victory, and back-to-back Australian Open semi-finalists for Wendy Wilson and Trish Doolan. An amazing tournament as well for Taylor de Greenlaw and Louise Cronan, who were brilliant. They made the quarterfinals. They're a young pair. This will be a fantastic learning experience for them. They remained unflappable. They remained determined. They were brilliant. Ben Crixtolitis, thank you very much for joining me. We'll be back in just over an hour's time for women's singles semi-final action, and we're looking very much forward to it.
I'm excited for that. I can't wait.
Big thank you to Apia and Australia's Gold Coast and Tourism and Events Queensland, and Lockie Williams behind the scenes for his stats as well, and vision switching. He's an absolute guru. Plenty more still to come today at Helens Vale. We'll catch you very, very soon.